Hey, hola, ¿cómo estás? Bonjour, ça va? Well, it's me, the Lost Canuck. Just thought I'd say, welcome to the channel. You're probably wondering, hey Lost Canuck, what the heck are you doing standing in front of a Masterbuilt charcoal grill? Well, long story, but hey, I was at Home Depot the other day over in Green Bay. And you're not going to believe this, but Home Depot is blowing these things out for $149, okay? This would be the cheapest grill I've ever purchased in my life. So, and just so you believe me, because like I didn't believe it, here's the price tag right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. $149. Normally $4.99. Now I don't think they're $4.99 anymore. I think they're like $400. But look, now is this, you know, we're gonna find out about this. What we're gonna do on today's episode is well, I just told you I got this super cheap grill. We're gonna burn it in. We're gonna go through the features, burn it in, and do a little test cook. Okay. And like I say, for $149, even if I hate this thing, even if I think this thing's junk, I won't feel bad wheeling it out to the curb and letting it go, all right? So if you can find an AutoIgnite 545 at your local Home Depot that they still have, they're getting rid of them for $149, just FYI, okay? They also had a Kamado Joe in there, a really nice one for $600 or $500, but I didn't get that one. So I figured I could foot the 149, and that's as far as I'd go. All right, so look, this is the Masterbuilt AutoIgnite 545 series, and it's a charcoal smoker and grill. Okay, let's just go through some of the features. So first of all, why is it a 545? Well, that's how much grilling surface you have in there. Now, it's a little tricky because there's a lower surface and then they have this little warming rack on the top, and they add those together to get the 545. But we'll do some dimensions here in a second. It's borrowed a lot of stuff from different grills, okay? So the controller comes from the newer 1150 series, and by the way, if you can still find an 1150 at Home Depot, my local one, it was Minneapolis Northeast, had them for $660. So if you're in Minneapolis, that's also a good deal. Normally $1,000. But like I say, this controller comes from that. It's got digital, hooks up to your phone. We'll talk about this little AutoIgnite button here in a minute. This is kind of a nifty feature. It's got 4 probe ports. We went through the price. It's a Wi-Fi controller. Now, what makes this kind of borrowed stuff from different grills that Middleby owns Masterbuilt, and they own Char Griller and they own Kamado Joe. So, you know, if you look at the holes in the shelves, that kind of comes from Char Griller. And then we're going to go through some of the stuff on the inside that comes from Char Griller. So let's open this thing up, okay? Okay, what's on the inside? Well, why don't we take the camera off the tripod and I'll see if I can go through this. Okay, so there was the controller up close, shelf extended. There's the lower grilling surface. Now, the grates are 2 ways, so they're triangular. So I'm trying to do this with one hand. So you'll see this way you can get thin. It's for smoking basically, and then you can flip them over and get really thick for searing. So that's kind of neat. Okay, so what's different about this? Well, you get this this charcoal mini hopper. It says it holds 7 pounds of briquettes, or 5 pounds a lump, and it's cast. The top of it's cast iron, and I haven't peeled off the stickers yet. That's going to be a chore. Okay, well, I'll get the stickers peeled off because I got to burn this thing in. But everything inside is pretty nice. Okay, this is all porcelain enameled on the inside, so should be a little easier to clean. We're going to have to season. These are cast iron grates. We're going to have to season those. And you get this little warming rack. Now, this thing here, I'm not really impressed with it. Look, if you're expecting a heavy-duty grill for $149, this probably isn't the grill for you, because although it's it's built not too bad, like some of this is double walled. You can see this. But, to say it was heavy duty, I'd be lying. This is kind of, this is pretty flimsy. I might not even use this. I'll take it out and just grill on the normal surface. But anyways, you get this mini hopper. Let's open this up. And I don't know if you can see inside here, but there's a, there's your charcoal grate. And if you look down in a little further, okay, part of the AutoIgnite system is you see this little extension here. That is a glow rod or a ceramic igniter. Okay, just like the pellet grills use. That thing gets hot, and we'll talk about this in a second. Hang on. Let's close up our lid. Okay, so. This is a foldable shelf. Oh, you get 3 tool hooks on this shelf. 3 tool hooks on this shelf. And there's a door on the bottom. Opens up. It's double walled. There's a couple places where you can put your probes. Here's a probe spot. Hang your probe. Now, I think they only give you 1 probe. We'll take a look at that. We're going to break the grill on the inside down here in a second. I just want to show you this, how it lights. So, you just flip this thing up here like this. Okay. You notice there is a little trap door here. And there's the trap door. There should be a little sled in here. Yeah, there it is. So what you do is you're supposed to put, like one of their Masterbuilt lighters on here. I'm going to use a tumbleweed. Put it on here, and you take it, and you put it in here, like that, slide it in, and now that would be touching that super, it'll be red hot glow plug, and I'll show you how that all functions here in a minute. All right, then you get it lit up, and you close this, and then there's an ash basket here. Okay, so one of the first mods I'm going to do is I've bought an LSS mod ash basket. So why did I do that? Well, they say that this thing is so small that it fills with ash almost instantly. So I'm going to show you that here in a second. Let me go grab it. Okay, so we're back. So I put them, this is the stainless steel LSS mod ash basket that I bought from LSS Mods. I'll put the link in the video for this. And here's the original ash basket from Masterbuilt. Now you can see the size difference. So this one, from all what I've seen on YouTube, this one fills up so fast. This one should give you, at least a cook, and then you can dump it. And this should slide right into where I had the other one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it does. Slides in and out. Okay, so we know that fits. All right, so I'm going to leave that mod in and put this off to the side. Okay, So let's measure up these grates. Hang on a second. Okay, so our cooking area is 20, call it about 20 inches by 16, call it 20 by 16 on your lower shelf. On this kind of almost useless warming rack here, about 17 and a half by 8. Okay, I'll burn it in with this, but I probably won't end up using it much. Okay, so we talked about the charcoal mini hopper. Let's dig into the guts of this thing, and we'll see what other similarities it has with other grills. Okay, so I just took the grates out. The first thing you're going to notice is this diffuser, okay? It's porcelain coated, which is kind of nice. It's got slots cut into it. I'm probably going to wind up covering this up with aluminum foil to keep all the crud off of it. Oh, one other thing I forgot. The top of this mini hopper is a cast iron plate for searing, okay, which is kind of really cool. These are some good ideas, okay? And then it's got these little troughs here. You see these troughs? So if you have grease on here, it should funnel the grease off, hit this deflector, and then go down into the grease collection system, which you'll see in a second. And then your temperature probe is in this little cover here, and it's right here. It does come with a set of wheels on one side and peg legs on the other. And this thing, the door does have a magnet. Let's take this out. So this is kind of, like I say, it's porcelain covered. I'll probably put some foil on top of it. Okay, now what we have in here is your air manifold. So how this works is this is a PID controller, proportional integral derivative system, which we all learned about in engineering back in our controls class. But look, this thing should hold the temperature fairly steady. It's hooked up. There's a fan down in the guts here, and the fan blows the air, across the charcoal basket to pick up the heat, and then through this manifold. Okay, this is a manifold, and it's removable. So hang on. Okay, so as you can see, here's where the fan starts. So it's got smaller holes, and then it progressively gets bigger. So you want to, balance the air across your cook chamber. All right, so you can see where that's sat. There's some gook from the store. Now this is a grease catcher. I'm definitely 100% going to cover this with foil, and then cut the hole out here, just to keep things a little cleaner. Again, this is your manifold. This is how the manifold goes back in. And now to get to all this stuff, what you do is you just open this up. Now here's your final grease catcher here. I should go see if I can find a foil thing that'll the same size as this. Okay, so that just slides in here, the bottom. Now this whole pan, okay, remember we were looking at it from the top. So this whole pan and this slide out. So this whole thing, should be pretty easy to clean. And that's it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put all this stuff back together. I'm going to spray the cast iron, probably this, with a little cooking oil, and then we're going to burn off all the contaminants. Okay, so the cooking grates are cast iron; they should be seasoned. This porcelain stuff should be okay. I'm not going to cover this with the manifold with foil. So that sits in there, yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to cover this with foil. I am going to cover the drip pan and that with foil just to keep everything a little cleaner. Okay, well, before I get this burnt off, I got to take all the stickers off. Let's get some outer dimensions. I gave you the grill dimensions, but I almost forgot the outer dimensions. So the shelves themselves are 16.5 by 14, okay? but you got to consider the handle. Now, again, I didn't have to put this together because they were blowing it out. They had several floor models. This was already put together. If you go buy one, if they've got one, and you can get it for $149, you're likely going to have to assemble it. Now, from what I've seen on YouTube, from Tom Horseman or the Smoking Dad, it takes anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours to fully assemble this. And the worst part of it was the cart down below. Anyways, so that's one shelf. The other shelf I don't expect to be too dissimilar. It's like 14, again, by 16 and a half. Okay, the entire width. So if you are considering buying one of these things, the entire width is 56 and a half. Yeah, 56 and a half. Now with your handle, with the lid closed, your handle down, you're about 22 and a half this way, okay? So those are all the outer dimensions. Oh, I guess I should give you an elevation too. 43 and a half tall to the top of this. All right, so make sure you guys, if you do buy one of these for cheap, make sure it fits on your patio. This does fold up, so you can access the your starting system and the ash basket. So that might help you. And there's a couple of little dings here I better wipe off before we get her burnt in. So let's get this all put back together with foil, oil. We'll load her up with charcoal next. Okay, so one other feature I forgot to mention was you can take the entire charcoal mini hopper. There's that grate which blows out into the manifold. You can take it right out for cleaning. You notice I got most of the stickers off. That took off some of the glue. Took off some of my enamel coating here, but oh well, like I said, for 149 bucks, I'm not expecting much, and I'll season this anyways. This is cast iron. And then this is where the charcoal mini hopper sits. And just going back, there's that little sled we talked about, and it'll touch this. So you can break it all down to clean it, really give it a good thorough cleaning if you want. All right, well, I've got the grids coated with veg oil, and I've got my aluminum foil on the drip piece, and then you can see I've got my grease pan lined with foil, and I put a little oil on my on the griddle top there. A couple things that I forgot to show you that came with it. So here's the one probe that you get with it. I'll put that inside. There's a spot for that. Plus, they give you this little nifty grate lifter. You can pull your grates out with this tool. I'm going to hang that up inside. All right, well, we're here at the grill. Like I say, I got her all oiled up. Got the foil on. Got the controller paired. What's it saying here? Well, it's cold out. It thinks it's 40 degrees, but it's actually a lot colder than that. It's down. Actually, it's warmed up to the 20s. But I got some briquettes here. I'm going to load the hopper up with some briquettes. I'm going to probably burn it in for 250 for a couple hours. Just burn off all the manufacturing oils and whatever other little icky things from overseas that came with the grill. And then we'll do a little experiment. What do you think I should cook? Burgers, steaks? We'll figure that out later. I want to sear something on here too. So let's put some briquettes in there. Now, one thing you got to remember about this grill is whatever you put into this hopper, there's no way to turn it like out. It's all got to burn out. Okay, so this is all going to burn through. We're going to leave this open for lighting. I got my little fire starters here. I'm going to flip this up. Grab a fire. What we're going to do is we're going to press this little button here. There. See, it's flashing red. I don't know if you can see that. It's flashing. And by the time it stops flashing red, that's when we can take our little sled out of here. Actually, I better grab it now before it gets too hot. So we're going to take our little sled here, Put our little Fogo fire starter on there, and shove it up to that little ceramic igniter, and see if this thing lights. So nice thing about this thing is you don't have to use a torch. You don't have to use any type of flammable liquids or anything. Just got to get yourself a fire starter or the Masterbuilt fire starter. Put it on there and shove it in. I'm just going to take a look and see if I can see it glowing yet. Let this sit here for a second. It's cold out, so it might take a while for this thing to get hot. Okay, well the light's solid now, so let's put our little fire starter in and see what happens. Okay, I can see it ignited. Okay, so we're going to let the charcoal get lit. Temperature come up a bit. All right, well, I can hear the fan going. It says it's reached 250. It says it's 252, 253. So you can see it smoking, and you can hear it popping and making lots of noises. You can see when that fan kicks on, it's not well sealed. Maybe I can get a felt gasket and maybe put it around here. I don't know. Anyways, it's going to start burning off all the oils and greases. It's about 2:30 right now. We'll come back 4:30. Well, it'll be dark by the time we get back here. But all the stuff should be burnt off inside, and then we'll try a little cook on it. All right. Well, I'll let you know how it goes. So far, not mad at it. Not mad at my $149 purchase. PID controller seems to be working well. So we'll see you in a minute. I'm just gonna show you the graph here in a second from my phone. It only took like, I don't know, 5 minutes for this thing to get to 250. It was pretty crazy. It went straight up. So again, not mad at it. Okay, well, I got some of these Oklahoma Joe's temperature pucks for Christmas. I'm gonna go throw them on out on the Masterbuilt, and I got 6 of them. So I'm going to put 2 and 2 low and then 2 on the upper shelf. So we'll see how accurate this thing is. I've had it running for 250 for a little while. Okay, now while we wait for our Oklahoma Joe's temperature pucks to equilibrate, I'm going to try and put some wood chunks in. Shouldn't really affect anything. What you got to do though is you got to put your controller on hold. So you press this red button once. There, see it says hold? So that shuts your fan off so you're not shooting sparks all over the place. Open up oh yeah, look at that. Coals look very nice in there. I'm going to put a chunk of, that one fell out of my hand. Put another chunk of pecan in there. There we go. Let's see if we get any smoke out of those things. I can see them catching. All right, so when you put it on hold, put your wood in, it'll overshoot a little bit by, well, mine went up 10 degrees, now it's coming back to 250. So, got some wood in there, got my temperature pucks in there. I'm gonna run across the river to Harbor Freight for a few things. I'll be right back. We'll check our temp pucks, and then I've been given instructions. We're gonna smoke meatballs on here tonight. So no searing today, but we're going to smoke some meatballs. See you then. Hey, all right, well, we're back at the Masterbuilt AutoIgnite 545. Look, this thing's the controller's telling me it's been hovering at 250, plus or minus 5 degrees for about 4 hours, no problem. Got my meatballs out here. Now, but before we do that, let's take a look at the temperature pucks first, and then I want to look inside the hopper. So, let's take a look at these temperature pucks. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, so I'm expecting it to be hotter by the firebox. So you're almost 250 on this one. 225 over here. Up top, hang on, 250 here. 225 there. 225 there. So it's 225 here and 250 over here. Kind of what you'd expect, because this is your This is your firebox, okay? So I'm going to take our pucks off. And I don't know if you can see this, but I've got a split of pecan here. So let's take a look inside here. Oh yeah, you can see the coals have burnt down. I'm going to, oh, you got to put it on hold too. So you see this fan here? You got to place it on hold so you don't shoot sparks all over the place. And now I'm going to put a split of pecan in there, just on top of the coals. And this should light. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to get a lot of smoke out. Oh yeah, there it goes. See, you can see it starting to light there on the corner. Close this up. Turn our fan back on. Okay, now remember our pucks are hot, so don't touch those. Okay, I can smell the pecan already. You can see the smoke coming out of here already. So that should burn about an hour, which is how long we want to smoke our little meatballs at. So, gonna take our meatballs in this handy dandy tray. Just slide them over here. It fits perfectly, and I'm gonna, in about an hour, we'll do a temp check here with my thermopen and see where we're at. Alright, so let's close that up. Alright, so you can see I got the wood burning in there. It's smoldering, getting lots of smoke out of there. Should smoke up these meatballs pretty nicely. Actually, I'm going to go and throw a couple of, just a couple pieces of lump charcoal on top of that, give it a little extra flavor. Oh yeah, you can smell the pecan. Alright, so give me a second. I'm going to grab a piece of lump and throw it in there, and then away we go. Hang on. Alright, well, you can run this just like an offset, and if you've seen Smoking Dad Barbecue, he's got one just like this. He runs his like an offset. It's kind of cool. So let's put this on pause, or hold. Open this back up. I'm just going to throw this on top of that split that I threw in there. You can see the split burning pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to let these pucks here cool off. I don't want to touch them because they've been sitting there at 250 for a while. Actually, they're down to 150 now. But we're going to let the fan go on here, get some smoke on there. You see it's already at 250. The PID controller on here really works. So you know how they say the old expression, it's always sunny, or the sun always shines on TV? Well, it actually is. It's things are working out okay, which is, for the lost Canuck, it's pretty good. All right. It is dark out, yes. So the sun really isn't shining. It's a metaphor, okay? It's a metaphor. All right. We're going to let this thing smoke, and we'll see you back here when it's time to pull the meatballs off in about an hour. I'm using my Gen X timing device. So in 1 hour on the old Gen X timing device, which will be 7:30. Pull these off, and we'll bring them up to the cutting board, taste them, see how it worked. See you then. Hey, well, we're back at the Masterbuilt AutoIgnite 545, my $149 purchase. You can see the smoke rolling out of this thing. It's been pretty consistent, right around 250. It's been plus minus 5, maybe 8 degrees when I threw the wood in there, but it's been pretty dead on according to the controller. Let's take a look at these meatballs. Wow, color. I don't know if you can see that. The color looks great. Let's do a quick temp check. See where we're at. 188, 190. So yeah, we're food safe now. We're beyond 187, 188. So look, if you got yourself a good thermopen or a pen thermometer of some kind, that's your best tool to check everything. Okay. I'm going to put this on pause just so you can see what's left in the hopper. Let's take a quick look. Oh, look at that. So when you open this up and really get the oxygen exposed, you can see it burning pretty good. Let's close that back down. I'm going to grab the meatballs. Take it off pause. Okay, we're just going to let the we're just going to let the coals and the wood burn down because there's no way to really snuff it out. And let's go check these things out. We're going to slice into them, see how this Masterbuilt did. Let's go upstairs. Hey, it's the Lost Canuck. We're back upstairs in the barbecue lab. Probably didn't need to tell you who I am because you already know that. So I'll let you, one thing about these meatballs is I'm getting charcoal aroma like you wouldn't believe. They smell smoky. So let's cut into one. They're pretty hot still. Let's cut one open and see how we did. Okay. Should be, oh yeah. They're cooked all the way through. I'm not sure if the camera will pick that up. Can you see it on your screen? Yes. But they do have a nice little smoke ring on them. So that's kind of cool. Let's I'll cut them in quarters, or this one in a quarter, and then I'll try one, and it's hot. Probably burn my face off, but here's one for the videographer, and here's one for me. Cheers. Tastes very Italian. Yep. I got the smoke on the crust too. I can smell it on the crust. It smells like charcoal. So full disclosure on the meatballs. I bought them at Costco. They sell them in their deli section, and I thought they were fully cooked, but they're not. So they're raw, and that's why I smoked them like this. Normally, I would be making my own meatballs. And just as a sneak peek, coming up very soon, I'm thawing out some beef and pork in the fridge right now for some smoked Italian meatball sandwiches. That sounds really good. So, and I'll get to test out my grinder that way too. All right, so look, meatballs are done. We're going to have spaghetti and meatballs for supper tonight. The Masterbuilt 545 worked amazingly well for a first run. We did the burn off, got rid of all the chemicals inside, then we cranked her up. It's a nice, for 149 bucks, it's a nice little pit. Even, if you can get it under if you can get it under 400 bucks, like $3.99 or less, it's still not so bad. Is it going to last you forever? No. It's a great starter pit there if you just want to get into smoking meat. Now the temperature range on this thing, just FYI, the lowest you can go on the app is 250 degrees. So it's more of a grill than a smoker, although at 250 you can smoke. You could see the smoke pouring off that thing. All right, and it's supposed to go up to 650. I haven't tried that yet. Maybe I'll do that on my next test. All right, so don't forget, check me out on Instagram over here. I'll put my QR code up here. I have about 800 followers. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys following me. If you liked any of the equipment that I used in the video, check out the Lost Canuck store. It's an affiliate store. The links are below. I should have the link to the Masterbuilt knives, cutting board, all the little trinkets that I used, the little temperature pucks, all that good stuff. So if you're interested in that, Valentine's Day is coming, you want to give your special someone some cool barbecue gifts, it's a great site to go to. All right, so kind of the final words, final thoughts. Masterbuilt, this little guy, didn't drop signal, didn't drop connection, cooked the way it should. PID loop controller did a good job, so you can run it like a stick burner. You can run it with charcoal. It's pretty versatile. We're going to keep testing this thing. Am I going to hang on to it forever? Probably not. Some lucky guy will be buying this from me in the spring probably. But it's a nice little pit. Hey, all you new people that are new to the channel, now that I have this grill in the mix, I got lots of different content out there. So hey, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notify me buttons. Please hit that like button. It really helps the channel, especially if you found value in it. And you guys can leave me a comment. I answer all of my comments. Good, bad, or indifferent, I'll answer you. Look, I'll try and be civil in your comments. I have had some interesting ones over the last year. So, okay. So like I've always said in the past, if we're lost together. You and the lost Canuck. So be kind. Mental health is super important nowadays. It really matters. You never know what some other people are going through right now, so always be kind. Okay? Those are my final words. Take care. Love you guys. Bye-bye.